Let's talk about Ruin by John Gwynne. For those of you that don't know, this is the third book in the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. A lot of you probably know him better from the Bloodsworn trilogy, but the Faithful and the Fallen was actually the first set of books he ever published. And unfortunately, I think that continues to show. I continue to really struggle with this book series. While it deals with some really interesting themes and plot arcs, I think it's really bogged down by some repetitive plots, forgettable characters, and action sequences that drag on far too long. And I think because of how much the author tries to do in this 4-book series, like he tries to craft the plot as intricate and big as the Wheel of Time, but in just a 4-book series. I think what he ends up having to do to accomplish that is sacrifice a lot of really interesting points and depth that otherwise is deserved for certain plot points and character arcs. As but one example, where at the end of this book there's a massive revelation, a massive plot twist, and instead of having hundreds of pages dedicated to the aftermath of such a revelation as is deserved, the protagonist of the book kind of reconciles himself with the revelation in the span of a few pages. To the point where nothing seems to actually change based on the revelation. Now maybe that's going to change in the next book. The fact that the protagonist thinks about the revelation and reconciles himself with it within one chapter, to me it was indicative of the kind of depth that the author sacrificed for the sake of advancing the plot. Obviously I'm being vague to avoid spoilers. Overall I'd give this book like a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10. The series as a whole for me is trending towards that kind of a rating. I've already started the last book, so I'll let you know what I think of that. Now drop a follow and go subscribe on YouTube or else.